It truly baffles me when I finish a drugstore tutorial and it looks this good, like it looks just like or better than high-end makeup. You can't tell. You just can't tell the price when it's on your face. Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. So listen up. Today as I was trying to figure out what to film, I was just thinking about what I felt like doing personally. And to be honest, sometimes I get so caught up in trying to review the newest, best and greatest makeup as soon as possible for you guys, because there seriously are so many new launches that happen all the time when it comes to makeup. But then there's the other side of me that loves to do like full face of nothing new, where I just sit down and do a full face of throwback products. But today I kind of wanted to combine the two and do a video just reusing some of the newer drugstore makeup that I have been super into. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be reusing some amazing drugstore makeup that honestly I'm just really excited about, that I haven't really had a chance to dip back into or use with other favorites. So let's get started. First, I'm going to be using the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. In my last video, I used this as a primer and I really loved how my makeup applied over top. I don't know, I'm really excited about today's video because I just feel like there's not that many people that sit down and reuse products over and over again, especially newer products. And who buys a new makeup item and then if you enjoy it, you forget about it and buy the next new thing, you know? Like we all reuse products, so hopefully this inspires you guys at home to pull out some of your new purchases and find different ways to use them. I'm going to be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. I've just put it on my eyes. Can't seem to find the brush, so I'm just going to use this sponge. And I'm going to blend out the concealer all over the eyelid. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set that with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. I don't know what it is about this powder, but I keep using it and it's so good. I'm just going to go ahead and set the concealer using this so we have a nice canvas for our eyeshadows. Oh, also I did my brows off camera. I guess this isn't drugstore, but this is from M Cosmetics. It's a newer product to me though. It's the Fine Liner Brow Pencil in the shade Deep Taupe, and I've really been enjoying that as well, and I keep using it pretty much every day. For eyeshadow, I really wanted to dip back into this new palette from Flower Beauty. And when I say new, I know it's not like a brand new launch, but this is new within the last couple months, you know what I mean? So I really wanted to dip into these colors again. Let's take this shade right here, and I'm just gonna start to kind of buff this in the crease a little bit. And then once there's less product on the brush, I'm going to blend it out toward the end of the brow. I kind of feel like doing a halo eye today, so I'm gonna take that same eyeshadow and I'm gonna start to pack it on the inner corner as well, so we can start to build that shape and then also deepen up the outer corner with the same color. The idea is just to keep the center a little bit lighter, and you'll be able to see it even more as we layer on the eyeshadows, but we're just gonna start with this for now. All right, next we're going to dip into this shade right here. I don't think these have shade names necessarily. I'm just gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna start to build this up on the outer corner and the inner corner as well. But I'm just gonna slowly layer these colors and just blend them together to create more of an ombre effect. Before I forget, I wanted to ask you guys, like, what kind of videos do you want to see more of this year? I know I always say that in a lot of my videos, like to comment down below and tell me what videos you want to see, because it's true. Like, I want to be creating stuff that you guys will actually watch and that you're interested in. But like, what do you look for now in beauty YouTube videos? Are you into reviews? Do you like more chatty get ready with me's? Do you like in-depth tutorials? Do you like a little bit of everything? Comment down below. I would love to know, because I'm always trying to improve my content for you guys. And I want to make sure that, again, I'm creating things that are relevant for you and that just make sense for you and your lifestyle. So please leave comments down below. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for now, I think. I really wanted to use this Almay Velvet Foil Cream Eyeshadow. This is in the shade Cupid Glaze. I've been obsessed with this, and I know so many of you guys went out and purchased it. So I really wanted to use this again in another video so I can show you like different ways to use this. This is what I'm going to start to apply in the center of the eyelid like this. And I'm just going to start to lightly build that up, keeping most of the intensity on the very center and then kind of patting it out toward the edges a little bit as well. This is truly one of the easiest eyeshadows to work with. It dries down really nicely and it never creases on me. This formula is so pretty. Let's dip into this shade right here. And I'm going to take a smaller brush for this. This is the Morphe M506 brush. And I'm just going to really start to define this outer corner as well as the inner corner right here. And I'm just going to start to blend that inward because I feel like we need a little more dimension. So after I've applied that, I'm taking the brush that we were using before and I'm just kind of buffing over that a little bit to smooth everything out. I feel like doing this afterwards is kind of buffing away some of that Almay glitter eyeshadow, but we can always add more. I'm just trying to build everything up slowly. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit more of the Almay foil shadow and I just apply it on the back of my hand first and then take a little bit on my finger and I'm gonna layer that up one more time just to make sure we didn't lose any of that sparkle. All right, I'm gonna actually dip into this Neutrogena matte eyeshadow. This is in the shade Dusty Mauve, and I just feel like this is gonna do a little bit of a better job on the outer corner than that dark shade in the palette because I want it to stay a little bit more mauve and it was leaning too cranberry in my opinion. So I'm just layering this on top as well, trying to blend that in a little more. And then I thought it would be fun to add just a little bit of the glitter from this palette. This is the Pixie by Petra Glittery Eye Quad, and this is in the shade Gold Lava, but I'm gonna take the more silvery shade and I'm really gonna try to get just a little bit of glitter on my finger. In my last video where I tried these out, I really kind of went ham and it was pretty opaque, but I want to try it in a different way and just kind of lightly tap into the pan and then lightly tap onto the eyelid just to get like a wash of glitter versus an opaque glitter shadow. And I think it is working. And again, I'm just trying to focus this right on the center of the eyelid so that we can maintain that halo eye effect. All right, next I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and I'm gonna clean up any fallout under the eye, and I'm also gonna clean up this edge here. And after I wipe the edges, I'm just gonna press that into the skin with my finger just so that we can maintain that shape, but I don't want the line to be too harsh. All right, I'm gonna jump into the Neutrogena Smoky Kohl Eyeliner. This is in the shade Plum. These eyeliners last forever, and I'm just gonna line the top lash line, focusing it on the outer half pretty much, just to kind of add a little bit of definition there. See how I started it like right here, and then I took it all the way out to the very edge? Once you apply mascara, I just feel like that's a nice way to add a little bit of almost a winged out look once you add the mascara, to have a little more definition on the outer corner than you do the inner corner. I'm actually going to take a small brush and just kind of buff the eyeliner out on the edges. I think that removed some of the eyeshadow. There might have been product on that brush and I didn't look close enough. Darn it. I'm gonna try to patch that up a little bit with this single eyeshadow. All right, I feel like that's pretty good for now. The edges are looking a little splotchier than I would have liked, but I'm gonna go ahead and go into mascara on the top lashes. This is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, and I'm gonna do 2 to 3 coats on just the top lashes right now. I love this mascara though. It gives my lashes so much volume and they don't smudge or flake all day, but it's not a waterproof formula either because I hate waterproof mascaras. So it's kind of got the best of all of the worlds. For some reason, this mascara is really messy though for me, and I found that if I look down into a mirror and apply the mascara, I don't get it everywhere like I normally do if I'm like trying to look up and do it. I always smear it up here. So that's just a little trick if you have the same issue with this mascara or with any mascara. Just look down into a mirror. All right, so far I like the eyes. Let's move on to the complexion. I'm going to be using the Neutrogena Prep and Correct Primer. This is the tone correcting primer, and I just really like this because it's got a peach undertone to it. So unlike other color correcting primers, which a lot of color correcting primers work, but for me, I feel like I can always see like a little hint of purple or green underneath my foundation. This one is just peach. So it just kind of brightens and evens out my skin tone, but it never like tints my face a weird color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this with my fingers, and I'm gonna really make sure to work it into the skin. And now let's go into foundation. I have been dying to reuse this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation, and I have mine in the shade Shell Ivory. We're just gonna do a little bit on the cheeks. We'll start with about that much. And I'm gonna blend this out with a foundation brush. So some of you may know that we recently moved. We bought a house and we've absolutely loved being in this house. However, it has been such a process for me to try to choose different furniture. To be honest, we didn't even start, and we moved in this house in February and we haven't changed anything. We've just been using our old furniture and it works, but it just doesn't quite fit the layout of the space. But we finally bought a bed. We've just had our mattress on the floor this whole time, But anyways, it came today and I'm really excited to set it up. I feel like it's really easy to get overwhelmed when you're decorating a room, or if you've moved and you feel like you have to decorate the whole house. It's so easy to get overwhelmed, but I'm just learning that I just need to take it day by day and work on one room at a time. So I'm just gonna do our bedroom first. We'll get our bed set up, then I'll be able to choose nightstands, lamps, you know what I mean, like one at a time, instead of getting so overwhelmed with like, oh, I've got to furnish the whole upstairs all at once, because I really don't. And I'm not in a rush, but I also want to see like what it will look like when it's all done. I don't know. Have any of you guys experienced that as well if you've moved recently, or if you're just like redoing your room or redoing any decorations? Have you ever felt like that? Because it can be like way more overwhelming than I anticipated. I'm just layering up a little bit more foundation and I'm pressing it into the skin with my sponge. This foundation has such a gorgeous finish. You can build up coverage with it, but I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. I know I've got some blemishes here, but I'm just gonna spot conceal, and I'm actually gonna do that now. I'm gonna take the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Concealer. This is not new, but it does have salicylic acid in it, which will help to treat blemishes. So I really do want to spot conceal any blemishes with this, and we'll use that same Milani concealer underneath the eyes. But first, I'm gonna blend that out all over the skin. This blemish right here is being a little bit stubborn. I'm gonna layer up a little more of this concealer, and I'm gonna let it sit there for a second to kind of dry down. And I'm hoping that that will help to cover it a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer in the shade Nude Ivory. And let's conceal the under eye area with this. And I'm gonna be pretty generous, not too generous underneath the eye area with that, but just enough to really make sure that all my dark circles are canceled out, since we are using purple eyeshadows. Purple can tend to emphasize any blue or purple that you have underneath the eyes. So I'm just gonna make sure that that is all concealed. And I'm just gonna blend that out with this sponge. All right, now I'm just going to press the concealer onto the blemish right here. That seemed to cover it way better when I just left it there for a second. It might not be perfectly covered up, but that's okay. All right, we are going to set the face with that same exact Wet n Wild powder. And I always like to start by setting the under eye area first. And then I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and I'm gonna press the powder into the skin all over the rest of the face. Let's jump back into this palette. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And I'm gonna start to work this along the entire lower lash line. And I'm really trying to connect it to this outer corner here. Things seem to get a little splotchy on this outer corner. I'm hoping we can kind of recover from it, but I'm not gonna stress. I'm just gonna keep working and hopefully it will all come together in the end. I'm just gonna do the same thing on this eye, and then I really do want to kind of go into this Neutrogena single shadow, and I'm going to be using this to deepen up the outer corner and the inner corner, leaving the center of the eye open for the same kind of thing. We're going to do the halo eye on the lower lash line as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer this up right here and also right here. I'm taking a small powder brush and I'm just using the translucent powder that's left on it, and I'm kind of trying to buff over these edges in the hopes of smoothing them out a little bit so that I can go back in with the Neutrogena eyeshadow and kind of fix the splotchiness. That seemed to work pretty well actually. It's not necessarily perfect, but it looks better than it did before, I think. All right, let's do the halo on the lower lash line. I'm gonna take more of this cream eyeshadow, and another thing that's really nice about this is you can apply it with a brush if you want to. The formula is just so good on this, I love it. So I put a little bit more on the back of my hand and I'm just taking a brush and I'm just gonna kind of start to press this on the center of the lower lash line, and I'm just gonna slowly layer this up. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna do the pixie glitter on the lower lash line just to prevent any fallout. But now let's do mascara on the lower lash line. Where is the mascara? Honestly, how do I lose a mascara like that? Here it is, found it. And I'm gonna do 1 to 2 coats on the bottom lashes. All right, now we get to warm up the complexion. That's like my favorite part of makeup application, especially at this stage in makeup. I always get scared that like I look weird when my eyes are done and my face is not bronzed. I'm going to take the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzers. I'm going to use both shades today. I'm going to start with Sunrise L1, and I'm going to use this to kind of sculpt out a general shape on my face. So underneath the cheekbones a little bit. We'll do along the hairline, along the jawline, and a little bit down the neck. And we'll dust a little bit on the sides of the nose, just a little bit. I didn't add any more product to the brush. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of warmth and definition there. And then I'm going to take the Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer in the shade M1 Sunswept, and this is just a little bit more of a warmer tone. And I'm going to start to layer this right on top of that, a little bit above on the cheeks. And I'm going to dust this one kind of across the center of the nose to help it look more sun-kissed. And then I'm going to take the fluffy brush that we used for powder, and I'm going to buff this over top of the bronzers just to blend everything together and to make sure there's no harsh lines anywhere. Alrighty. Then we're going to go into my favorite highlighter right now. This is from Honest Beauty, and this is the Midnight Reflection Luminizing Glow Powder. It is just so perfect for just that natural glow. You can really build it up, but it never looks like too much. It honestly just looks like you're glowing from within. And even though it's a powder, it almost looks like a cream in the sense that it really blends in with the skin. I love this stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the high points of the face. I like to apply a little bit on the apples of the cheeks, and I will go ahead and apply some down the center of the nose. If you're looking for an extremely blinding highlight, this is not the one for you. You can build it up though, and you can see it, but it's just gonna be way more natural than a lot of highlighters that are on the market, but that's why I love this one so much. It's just gorgeous. I'm gonna take that same highlighter and I'm gonna go ahead and pop some of this in the inner corner of the eye just to brighten that up a little bit. I'm gonna really layer it up on this inner corner so that the intensity kind of matches the halo eye. And then I'm gonna take what's left on the brush and just kind of highlight underneath the brow. All right, so this product is technically not Drugstore, but I really wanted to use it again. This is a ColourPop blush. It's the Super Shock Cheek Blush in the shade Count Me In. You could use the Burt's Bees pink blush in place of this if you're recreating this look, but I just really wanted to use a product that's a little bit more new, since that's kind of the point of this video. And I'm just gonna go ahead and smile, and I go straight into the container with a brush, and then I'm gonna press that onto the cheeks to build up the color. And I'm just layering this up, and I'm putting a little bit across the nose as well, and bringing it up toward the temples a little bit too. But I'm keeping most of the intensity on the apples of the cheeks right here. All right, let's remove any foundation that we got on the lips. And I'm gonna go into the Almay Lip Vibes lipsticks. This is the first shade that I ever tried. I've since bought 2 other colors and I love all 3 that I have. But this one is in the shade Worry Less, and it is just perfect for looks like this. It's one of my favorite mauve-y colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the lips. Oh my goodness, it matches the eyes perfectly. And I'm gonna take my finger to kind of blend that out. And I do wanna add a gloss to this. And I have a gloss that's new to me. It's not new to ColourPop, but this is also from ColourPop. It's the Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Fairy Floss. And I just thought that this might be pretty layered on top of that mauve lipstick. So we're gonna try it. It's a really pretty nude color. And I'm gonna use my finger to blend those two together. I'm wanting to add a little more definition back into the brows, so I'm just taking that same M Cosmetics pencil and I am feathering in a few more hairs toward the front here and making sure that the ends of the brows are defined as well. All right, I do want to add a little more blush after stepping back and assessing the situation. So I'm just gonna add a tad bit more. That's probably good. Might add a little more highlight too. Who am I? I'm being all extra today, but I feel like we are doing a-okay in the bronzer department. I'm just kind of buffing a little bit more, I guess, with this brush that I was using just to make sure it is blended. And then it's time to lock it in. Well, I don't know if this is really gonna lock it in. It's more hydrating than long lasting, but we're gonna use it on top of makeup. I'm going back into the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. Let's spritz the face. Smells so good. Then the fan. Oh no, my sponge fell on the ground. Ah! Where are you? Oh, just in time. We're gonna pat that into the skin a little bit, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and set the brows with the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel, just to add a little more fluff to the brows. Well, folks, that is it. That was me reusing some new drugstore makeup, and I love how this look turned out. I mean, come on, can you believe that this is all affordable products? It truly baffles me when I finish a drugstore tutorial and it looks this good, like it looks just like or better than high-end makeup, you know? You can't tell. You just can't tell the price when it's on your face, you know? I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully it inspired you to just use what you've got, enjoy the makeup you have, enjoy the new stuff you have, even though there are constant launches every day, and sometimes it's easy to want all the new stuff and not enjoy the new stuff that you just bought. Do you know what I mean? It happens to me all the time, so I really had a lot of fun sitting down and filming this video for you guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when I post, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I upload. I'm feeling glam tonight. I had plans to cook dinner, but might have to make my husband take me out. Take me to Olive Garden. You know what I mean? Anyways, I love you all so much, and I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!